Welcome in, everyone. Welcome in. I'm going to wait for some of you guys to come on in here. I'll check the sound on my end, and then we will go ahead and get started. Oh, Lord. Talking about Erika, girl. Welcome in, everyone. Okay, there we go. Sound is good on my end. Hold on. All right, cool, guys. I'm going to wait for some of you guys to come in here, and then we will get started. I got more serious work to do, but I just had to stop and talk about something really quickly because there's a lot of weird stuff that I've just kind of noticed. I have not been watching the news or anything, but you know, we got to spin the block one more time really quickly about this PSYOP clone, Erika Kirk. And she's not beating those Candace Owens allegations. I think she thinks that her publicity stunts will beat it, but girl, just stop talking and making you look bad. I don't know what else to say. Okay, guys, welcome in. You're coming in. Guys, watch out for the sound for me. When you come in, shout out your city, your country, your state, your providence, your mood, your vibe, your vibration, all of that good stuff. And subscribe to the channel, and please like the video, guys. We will get started here in a moment. I'm just going to take care of a few things on my end. And to be honest with you guys, I really had a whole nother video planned because, you know, I'm really into my healing mode. I'm into a lot of the things we need to do to prepare ourselves for 2026, but we will get back to that. Let me just get this thing out of the way. Let's just get this thing out of the way because, you know, something just ain't right. It just ain't right. And we will start in a moment, guys. I do want to say, guys, if you are interested in booking a session with me, there will be some links down below. Guys, I do this every year at the end of the year. It is a call to your healing, a call to your deliverance. At the end of the year, we're ending the year the 9. Let's go ahead and clean up all of that karmic residue. Get that off of you because next year is a brand new beginning, and you don't want to end this year still, you know, with all of this karmic goo just hanging off of you. So if you want to book a session, the hypnosis session is beautiful for that kind of work. But there will be some links down below. You can also try to email me if you have any questions at instructions4humanity@gmail.com. Okay. Awesome. We will see where Source wants to lead us today. Because I was like, I'm not about to sit here and plan this video simply because I simply don't care about this enough to sit there and plan what it is I'm going to say. So I'm just going to channel this PSYOP clone, Erika Kirk, and why, you know, her last stream, I don't know, she went on like a press tour, girl, but you ain't beating those Candace Owens allegations. It's given that you're guilty. Like, that's just what, from my point of view, is it just don't look right. You know, when certain things just don't look right, they ain't right. It's because something is clearly wrong. So let me get back to the chat, and we're about to start. Welcome in, Angel. Welcome in, Keely. Welcome in, Shannon. Yes, Louisiana. Yes. Okay, awesome. Florida. Yes. Welcome in. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Wherever, girl, you might be tuning in from another galaxy. You know, I got viewers from everywhere. That's why it ain't reflected on YouTube. They probably out of this sphere of consciousness, right? No, I'm joking. All right, so let's just go ahead and jump right into this video. I truly don't know what I'm gonna say, but you know, I just want to play you guys really quickly, and I did a little bit of automatic drawing. Still something going on with this girl. I almost called her Katie clone. And I ain't never said that she was a clone, but something ain't right. And to be honest with you, the way she went on this press tour trying to promote Charlie's book, but really promoting her, trying to beat the allegations, it just didn't do what it was supposed to do, girl. Like, it's looking that you're guilty. Like, and we all know this. I mean, this all came out in the wash, came out during the psychic investigation. There's a whole playlist over probably 60, 70 videos, guys. Check out The Curious Case of Charlie Kirk if you want to know the real story and when they actually did knock him off. He didn't get knocked off that day. That was part of a Masonic, Freemasonry ritual. But, eventually they did start to tinker around with his consciousness and his brain. And that is what they wanted it for, because it is a ritual that plugs in to a larger equation to what is coming next. The world that is to come. Now I'm channeling. I'm a conscious channeler, by the way. So what that means is I channel from my conscious mind. I don't have to go into trance. So this is what Source is saying, is that the reason why they needed to do this Charlie Kirk PSYOP is simply because the world to come will need a lot of different energy to power it. Guys, we are literally switching from, the Y2K, from the internet, version of humanity into the AI, into the AGI, right? Where the AI actually becomes not only sentient, but it reaches singularity and it becomes, within physicality as well. They're always doing collective witchcraft. They need a lot of energy to pull this thing through. They need a lot of energy to pull this thing through. And so this is just another reason of why the whole Charlie Kirk PSYOP happened, right? And so that's just what Source is saying. So now, what I want to do is I want to play these news clips from Erika Kirk. But before I do that, do you guys remember me in one of the videos? I kept channeling. There was something going on with the hands. I got a message about the hands, right? Remember when, hold on, I'm going to find it. Do you guys remember when Erika Kirk was taking a picture next to his casket? And she was like, had, her hand on those rubber hands, and she was like kissing it. And remember I said there was something weird, and then I got a message about something larger, because guys, I don't want to go through the whole thing again. If you've been on this channel, you already know that all these people are attached to an entity, right? And I trace this back to the reptilians, right? And so these are the characters we see on the world stage. However, when you peel back the layers, they are being controlled by entities, by grand wizard witches, and by reptilians. Well, the hands that I kept channeling, guys, is literally part of a Freemasonry ritual. This is why she had to show the hands in the casket, right? And I'm going to go ahead and show that to you guys really quickly. These hands, these rubber hands, these rubber duckies right here. No disrespect, but that's not it. Source is saying that that's not it. That's not it, right? So this was part of a ritual. I actually had a channeled message come through about the hands, because what these hands are symbolizing is we are changing hands. We are also, like I said, we're going from the internet age into the AGI, or, AI age, but also too, guys, humanity, we are literally getting another master. So that's what the whole hands is. It's a massive shift. But what Source is saying, it's a massive switch. And so what you guys have to know is that, humanity, every 2,150 years, we go into a new age. And that new age, which is literally beginning now, it's beginning now. And then within the next 7 to 9 years, we'll be really, really fully submerged into the new vibration. But humanity is getting another slave owner, essentially. And I've been channeling this for some time, but we go through periods of, so let me give it to you like this. If you're into astrology, right, and we went from the Piscean age, where it was all about, if you look at the sign of Pisces, it's like the 2 fish, right? And this is why you always see the 2 fish, and then they'll have like Jesus' name written on it, and it'll be like a license plate or something. The Piscean age was all about that. It was all about the the outer God, right? It was all about, taking, the two fish and multiplying it, walking on water, all of those things. But it was external, energy that did it, right? Well, this age that we're in and will fully be in the next 7 to 9 years is all about the inner God, right? The inner light, the inner Christ, the inner Savior, the internal waters, which is your spirit consciousness, right? Well, they know that. So not only do you get a new slave owner, yeah, because y'all didn't know humanity has been enslaved for a very long time, a different slave owner through the different, I call them zodiac gods. So every time we go through a new zodiac sign, we transit through, or we're just in that house for a particular time. These are energies that you are kind of forced to live under because they are the superior energies that, that literally are in control. So we can look at it that way, that these are be like your new, owners, right? But the hands are also representing that we're going from one controller. And you could think about this as in business, the people who controlled the I don't want to say the digital age because we're still in it, but Y2K, right? Everyone who invested in the Y2K boom, right? They were essentially our owners. They were essentially dictating what we would be doing. But now, because it has switched to AGI, to artificial intelligence, the people who are heavily invested in that, these are new owners, right? But these new owners, they not just come with the people who are literally, top executives and owners in those companies. It's coming with an actual entity. And last night, I saw it. These hands, when I'm talking about we're changing hands, the hands that are controlling us. But not only that, and I think I've said this before, but I'll say it again because I saw it last night. I saw beings, different beings, demonic beings, AI beings, just different kind of beings, alien-esque beings coming. It felt like for a feast to eat human flesh. And I've been channeling this for a while. This apocalypse energy, this purge energy, but it feels like people are literally running, trying to save themselves. I saw these beings, and some of them were alien-esque, right? AI, all of that, coming to devour, right? And so underneath your new captives, this is what will be happening on the Earth School. And when we zone it back down and we look at the Bill Gates of the world, messing up all the food, we look at them saying they want to bring the world population down from the 8 billion to 1 billion. This Agenda 2030, right? That whole thing. And so we can see that their beast system aligns with the changing of the hands, the changing of the captor, the one that is rocking the cradle, controlling humanity. Make no mistake about it, this whole psychic investigation, truly, when we scale this thing back and expand these templates, doesn't have anything to do with Erika, with Charlie, with Candace. It has everything to do with the world that is to come. It has everything to do with the entity that has been rocking the cradle, the hands. I am telling you, these hands will be very, very important. And I find it very, very interesting that not only were these hands, hold on, come on, is playing games with me. Not only were these hands part of the Masonic ritual, and she had to show it, but I'm going to tell you where else we can find these hands. And it's very interesting. Very, 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 very interesting. And I'm going to show that to you right now. And so now we see this little thing called foreshadowing. A little thing called foreshadowing. Okay? Look at Charlie Kirk's book. Look at the hands. I wasn't paying attention to this. I just saw a clip and Erika Kirk was promoting his book and I said, shut the front door. I said, what have I been channeling? These hands that keep popping up. And it's saying, stop in the name of God. Why honoring the Sabbath will transform your life. I'm calling BS on that. This ain't got... Is it really Charlie that wrote this? Or is it the donors that instead of Charlie wasn't taking money from, but Erika said, no, come on, give me no millions of dollars. Is it the donors, the Zionist donors that Erika has taken money from, and hence why the book is titled this? I call BS on this. Shabbat Shalom, that that Erika Kirk is saying that Charlie used to come home and say that Friday night for the Sabbath. Now, I used to observe the Sabbath, right? But you know, I doubt this, guys. I truly doubt this, but more importantly, we got to pay attention to the hands. They are signaling something to us. His whole passing, like I told you, was literally a PSYOP, a ritual to switch humanity's energy, not just from the internet age into the AI age, but from one captor to the next. It's given the vibe that humanity is being bought and sold. Like we're being sold off as one big collective. And when we zone out, it makes sense because we are getting another, we are going into a new age, which actually is the god of that zodiac. That's what I call it. I call it zodiac gods, right? Because you're kind of forced to be under that energy. And in a way, you have to master all of the 12 ages or the 12 signs of the zodiac. And what it does, it applies like this pressure, allows you to have this opposite or this dualistic pressure so that you can work through your own doings, your own trauma, your own karma. That's what we use it for. I'll put that aside just to know why it's there. But on the flip side, there's a good thing and a bad thing. On the flip side is, you got to work through it. You got to be underneath those energies. Has nothing to do with Shabbat Shalom and him and the Sabbath. They're trying to alert you to the hands that Erika took a picture of his hands before the casket. Now all of a sudden he got a book with his hands talking about stop in the name of God. Stop what? Remember that song, Stop in the Name of Love Before You Break My Heart? So it's very interesting that title was a play off of that very popular song, I think by the Supremes. Very interesting. This is all Hollywood scripted. It's all just a metaphor for your captivity. And when you think about the hands, what do police officers put on hands? Chains. Where are we going into 2030? The own nothing and be happy, the downsizing and killing off the crops and the animals and the this and that. They're basically telling you, we're about to put you back into captivity. That's what the hands is all about. It's just a massive ritual. And they always have to tell you what they're going to do before they do it. It is our job and responsibility not to let that happen. So this is the first thing that you must know, guys. Okay, I'm going to the chat and then we're going to look at Erika Kirk in all red. See, she thought she was about to pull a power move, but what it's given something else. And I'm going to read her energy when we go ahead and we play that. In the chat here, Natalie, Jim Jam, James Jazz, Cat Bonetti. Wow. Hi. Hi, I love that name. Says, hello, sweetheart. Keep up the good work from God Creation. Thanks, a.k.a. James Cat. Okay, awesome. Hey, they're now saying that his hands were charred. Girl, wait. Keely. They said that his hands were charred by possible like when they execute someone. Hold on, guys. Y'all, you got to go back in the playlist because it's just so much. Do you guys remember when I saw them take his consciousness? Hold on. All of my psychic findings. I saw them the day I saw, that's why I kind of stopped doing it, because I was like, oh, well, he gone. They transfer his consciousness. I saw him, remember I channeled it. He was sitting in a chair. They had a machine and they were turning up the like electromagnetic waves or something. They were trying to get his brain to the right temperature to transfer or split the consciousness or something that they were doing. I literally channeled that. So it's interesting that you say that now they're saying that his hands were charred. Very interesting. But it's very interesting. That's interesting. Hold on. I'm trying to see if I can find that. I have like 50 of these. I saw his consciousness split into 3. And it's very interesting that I said the state of Israel will also be split into 3. And believe it or not, United States government is part of Israel. Now, I'm going to show this to you guys. Renita, good morning from Indonesia. Need more healing session. Okay, yeah, that's what I had planned to do today. But this foolishness just came and I was like, let me do some foolishness. But I got a lot more healing, a lot more. Oh, we're about to go to nirvana on this channel. You guys have no idea. We're about to clear everything. We're about to win. We're about to be gifted a lot. The latter rains is here. They know what time it is. The whole point of why they got to keep you in the PSYOP, and hence why I can't do the video to clear us, but I will do that tomorrow, if not right after this, is because, do you guys know what's happening? We are in the middle of a massive harvest. And I called this, I said that this would happen around the fall, but they kept delaying it. And we're in the middle of a massive harvest. See, what is happening truly, and this purple represents that, we are in the middle of getting the latter rains that it talks about in the Bible. The latter rains is everything that has been withheld from you for a very long time, not just in this lifetime, but we look at your soul as a collective soul body and as the collective, not just you, but from humanity. These are the latter rains. And I saw it last night in the spirit. My latter rains were coming down. It was very beautiful. And I was just, all the gold essence just started to come down. And I started to integrate it all. But they know what time it is. Your latter rains is here. Do not get fooled and be part of the PSYOP. It's like, I love you, girl, Candace. And I get it. But at the same time, the important part is for us to end out this year, so that we don't get reconsumed back into their system of control and power, because we only got a little slither of time to get out, to clear ourselves, and to get back on the right path. Our latter rains are here. Your soul has been waiting for this forever. And they got us all in all these PSYOPs and stuff that doesn't matter. But thank you for saying that. This is the part here when I was like, his consciousness is splitting. This was the day I realized on 11/20. This was the day. It wasn't that 10/10 that Charlie passed away. No, on 11/20. When I check back, this is where I see they have now started doing something within his brain, taking something out. And I saw him sitting in almost a chair, like electrocuted. So the hands being charred makes sense. And they were turning up some machine, the way, to like do something to the brain waves, So this is trippy, guys. This is automatic drawing. You don't know what you're drawing. You're just doodling. And then I look back at it and Source decodes this for me. Look, this is Charlie Kirk's face that popped up. Look, that's his nose right there. Look, you can tell that's his nose because he has, a very, pronounced nose. There's his mouth. You can tell that's Charlie Kirk. That's a little bit of his neck. This is where I saw them enter. They're taking something, and I think it's part of his pineal gland. And remember almost the first, second, or third video, I said, I hope they're not eating this man's brain. I said it. It's like it was foreshadowing for what is to come. So the day that I saw him in that chair and they were doing this electromagnetic and his, they were taking something out of that brain. Interesting. Don't this look like a fish? Remember I just got done talking about that fish that you see on the license plate representing the age of Pisces? That's interesting. And here's Charlie here. Look. Down here, look, half of his face. One eye, his little nose, his mouth turned down. Does this look like a living, breathing person? He's either heavily sedated, because like I said, he was getting that electroshock, whatever. But he's or gone. Or sedated, but ultimately I saw his consciousness going into another vessel. And that's in another video. That's where it was always to go. Because these people don't die. They multiply. They multiply. The same aristocratic people from yesteryear is the same people on stage now. They just been switching consciousness. This ain't new technology. They've been doing this for a very, very long time. So, that's that. Now, let's see if we can pull up. And we're going to get to, wait a minute. We're about to read her energy. When I tell y'all, I'm going to tell you what energy she's given. What energy is she given? I'm going to hold that thought in my mind. Let's watch this, and then we're going to go into what energy she's given. It's interesting. It's interesting. And guys, let me know if you can hear this. I may have to unplug my mic for you to hear this. I don't know, but we'll make it happen. So let me know if you can hear it.
Candace Owens, okay? At one time, the podcaster Candace Owens, okay?
Can you hear it?
At one time, a friend of Charlie's. At one time, an employee of Turning Point. She has been one of the main peddlers of these conspiracies, and she is making a huge amount of money on it. She is building her business off of these lies. What do you want to say to her and the other people that are putting these lies out into the world right now? Stop. That's it. That's all I have to say. Stop. The podcaster Candace Owens.
Let's watch it again.
Okay? At one time, a friend of Charlie's. At one time, an employee of Turning Point. She has been one of the main peddlers of these conspiracies, and she is making a huge amount of money on it. She is building her business off of these lies. What do you want to say to her and the other people that are putting these lies out into the world right now? Stop.
Baby, look at her eyes. Didn't you just get done doing, hold on, this is crazy. That's the only word you got for us? You want to explain why it is a lie? But do you see why she said stop? What's Charlie Kirk's book? Is this girl a clone? It's like, are you programmed to plug the book? Like, what the what? What's his book, y'all? It was Stop in the Name of God. And why did she just say stop? Just stop. You have to understand when these people are playing on us. She's literally have just implanted into the collective subconscious that book, the fraudulent book. I'm calling fraudulent on that. Talking about observing the girl. I doubt that you were observing anything but how to get power and control take everything away from Charlie and get into the White House and siege yourself into the upper echelon of society. It's given weirdo. That was a whole promotion for Charlie's book, which is her book, by the way, it's not Charlie's. That was a whole promotion for the book. But at the same time, she wanted to make Candace Owens look bad. She's never going to beat those allegations now. Do you see how evil and demented she looked? And I'm going to show y'all. Hold on. We're going to get to it. We're going to watch one more. Then I'm going to show y'all who she looking like. Who she really, really looking like. Because it's kind of giving the vibe. You know, I get that vibe. It's giving the vibe that she's looking like someone else. And we're going to get there. Let's just roll with this really quickly.
I do not have time to address the noise. My silence does not mean that I am complacent.
You don't have to say it. I've never seen you like this.
No, this is righteous anger.
Can you guys hear? Okay, that's too much music going on. But wait, let me go back.
Address the noise. My silence does not mean that I am complacent.
You don't have to say it. I've never seen you like this.
No,
And by the way, whoever that black newscaster is, girl, you lying. Because she's like, she don't believe Erika. Because I read her energy. She does not believe anything you're saying, Erika. So I don't know who you think you're fooling, but ain't nobody falling for this. We ain't falling for it.
I do not have time to address the noise. My silence does not mean that I am complacent.
You don't have to say it. I've never seen you like this.
No, this is righteous anger.
Notice how she said righteous anger. Why is everything now got to go back to the Bible? Y'all people ain't never cared about this Bible unless it was used to enslave people, go and take over whole countries, or use it to manipulate for money, power, and control. Now this weird, you guys have just made the nationalism movement very weird, because now these people have to pop in something about the Bible, something about Jesus, something about God, and it's unnatural. You can tell that they're not used to being in the spirit. You can tell that somebody wrote Jesus into their script. These people they're not birth of the spirit. It's just obvious. There's nothing you can do to convince me otherwise. Charlie's grave, Erika responded, "Can I have one thing?" And repeated this point. Location. Yeah, where's his grave? Where's the location of the grave? Can you have one thing? Well, you do. That's the whole point of the investigation. You're hiding one thing. Charlie Kirk. Talk about, can you have one thing? You got it. That's the problem. So now the grave is missing. Interesting. Righteous anger. Have you ever heard someone say righteous anger before? Have you ever heard those? I used to work in Hollywood, guys. This is given script writer. This is given PR. This is giving bad acting. This is not giving what you wanted it to give, Erika. It's just sad, girl. This is sad. I can't. How can I mute this? Oh, God. That lady in the white suit, she just want her check. That's all she's here for. It's for her check. Make no mistake about it. Guys, I don't know what to say. Hold on. Let me go back to the chat. I'm just like, this is embarrassing. Hold on, let me see if you guys heard that. Oh no, I muted it. Wait, what? Did you guys hear it? Anyways, nevertheless, it ain't nothing to hear but some foolishness. Some absolute foolishness. His grave, we don't know where his grave is because he's not in a grave. You probably still have him in one of these torture facilities doing something with his brain, with the electromagnetic shock waves and taking something to and from. Who knows what's going on? It's all kind of given the vibe of what I saw when Kate Middleton went missing. I saw her when I remote viewed her. She was down in a dungeon. They did a very similar thing to her. They had this old school cap on her, and she was getting also electromagnetic brain pulses sent to her. Now, we could probably say this was some sort of mind control, but it felt like a torture device. You know, she had been through a lot, torture being one of them. So it gives Charlie Kirk, it gives that same vibe. When you're not compliant, they can't just put you out. Like, that was too easy for them to take them out. No, they torture you, and then they have to use you because you have the codes. So they have to use you for the next, ritual, right? For the next, Freemasonry, Masonic ritual. So they've been doing this a lot. Kanye West probably went through something very similar. It's given, I wouldn't have known about this if I hadn't remote viewed it, right? It's given they got to torture you a little bit, in the process, She's an absolute bad actor. Yeah, tell me, you could always tell when a black woman doesn't believe. You can tell. I looked at her. I was like, yeah, girl, I know you there for your check because I can tell you getting paid a lot of money for this. And why is Erika on the news? Guys, this woman came out of nowhere. Charlie Kirk was a YouTuber. Let's just zone it back. No matter how you feel about his work. To some people, he did great work. To other people, he didn't, right? That's duality. There's duality in everything. We're not here to talk about that. But the whole thing is, Erika, girl, he was married to a YouTuber. Since when does a YouTuber go from YouTuber to the White House? I know when. When the White House has seized your company because it was too valuable, because it had the minds of the youth. And when they have taken you, hold you hostage, do all this weird stuff to you, created a lie, stage an event for the ritual, for the changing of the guards, for the new captor, which is the AI. The AI God will come online. I've been talking about this for 4 years. Finally, Elon Musk came out and admitted it. That they are making AI God. I told you guys, you won't even need to leave your house. You can go to court. There'll be an AI judge, an AI doctor, an AI whatever you're into. AI God, AI angels, why not? AI aliens, whatever you believe in. AI Buddha, whatever you believe in, they're going to have that. And so, this is the whole point with the hands. Who's enslaving us? It's the AI. I can't make it up. That's what it is. And the AI is attached to some disagreeable beings, some fallen angels, some just reptilians, it's a plethora of beings, but it ain't gonna be good. That's the whole point. That's the ritual. That's the gotcha. And then she had to go show his hands and literally say, stop. When you had all this stuff, all this time to have a clap back. Erika, you had all this time for them to write what you were going to say to defend yourself. And all you had to say was stop, because it's given, are you a clone too? Does somebody got a battery in your back and you're just promoting the book? Stop in the name of God. That's why she said it. So not only do we have the stop being part of the book, we also have the hands that she's shown being part of the book. And what is the book about? The book is about observing the Sabbath. So it still goes all the way back to the same people that Charlie Kirk said that he wasn't going to take the money from. But they still made him do it. They wrote themselves into history, just like they've been writing themselves into every history, every timeline. And these people are attached to the Dark Lords. So now we know who's running the new age. It's the same people. The same Zionists who's been getting kicked out of every country. They go interstellar now. Now they're going back, and you can't even make none of this up, because the AI age is how they're going to put the final nail in the coffin. When they control every system. And even God itself. That's why they got to put God in everything and overly promote their religion. It's not natural. God is supposed to be natural. And every time you breathe, every time your heart beat, you are literally being fueled by Source God. There isn't any way you could ever be without it, because you have a breath. Therefore, you have God. But theirs is just unnatural. It's an outwardly display. And it's very interesting how we're going into the internal God. So I'm just wondering, and they always, you have to line up with the aspect of creation that you're trying to transcend. If we're going to the age of Aquarius, it's all about the inner man, the inner standing, the inner God, the inner knowing, the inner spirit waters, the inner baptism, right? No wonder why they have to bring AI, because everything they've been doing is outwardly. They have no more new tricks. No more new tricks. I don't even know what to say. So, is there anything else I want to say? Yes, I do. Now, let me show y'all. And I'm sure some of y'all saw this picture, but it's about to get even deeper. This woman is a demon. I don't care what no one say. I know a demon when I see one, when I feel one, when I taste one. I know when I say I taste one, is because I can taste when negative energies are around. This woman is not, this ain't Erika Kirk. This ain't her. There's something else operating within. And I think we spoke about this. That, she was taken over very early on, around the age of 14, So let me just show this to you guys. And you guys have seen this picture, right? And who is this guy? You've seen this picture, right? Something Copeland. I forgot his first name, but he's like a Kenneth Copeland. He's a mega pastor. And I remember this. I remember watching a documentary about him. This man is an absolute demon. I'm sorry if these are not men and women of the cloth, guys. And I'm so sorry if you feel that way, but they're just not. These people literally have a demon oozing out of their eye. Look at that. Look at that. Look at this man. Look at this man. Look at his eyes and look at hers. And it's not because the eyes are piercing blue and they're like, they're reflecting light, or it's not that. It's the energy signature behind the eyes. Demon. Absolute demon. And these are those same eyes when she told Candace Owens to stop. Referencing the book, Stop in the Name of God. What kind of God eyes is this? You got to hit out on Candace Owens you want to tell us about? That's what it's given. And I'm even giving the vibe her children. Something ain't right about Candace Owens' kids as well. I don't know. I'm not even going to touch upon that. Something's not right. Something's not right. And this woman, you don't have any kids. You don't. Erika Kirk doesn't have children. I don't know who those 2 children are. Maybe they used a surrogate or something. I'm telling you, she just doesn't. I don't know what that is. I don't know. This woman is a straight up pure demon seed. And I'm so sorry to say that. But let me tell you. Hold on. Let me bring that picture back. Let me bring it back. Oh. Bring it back one time. Right step 2 time. I don't know. I'm feeling good. But anywho, guys, let me bring that picture back. Cause I'm about to tell you who she is. Because energy will never lie. And you guys are gonna be like, hold on. Now look at her. Let me. Does she not look like Hillary Clinton? The energy of this, does she not? Is she not giving you Hillary Clinton vibes? Look at her in the eyes and imagine Hillary Clinton younger. I'm so sorry because, you know, spirit don't lie. Energy will never, ever lie. It's given whatever energy is racing through the veins of Hillary Clinton. It's given that Erika Kirk seems to have that same energy running throughout hers. And Kenneth as well. Maybe they all have the same demonic force ruling them. But this woman's energy is a lot like Hillary Clinton in this photo. And you guys remember that Hillary Clinton, the things that came out on Anthony Weiner's laptop about the hurting of the little ones, about the peeling back. I remember listening to a story where Hillary was bucket naked, running in the forest or something, had peeled off a little one face, skin from the face, and was wearing it. Remember Erika Kirk, the Romanian angels, and those children coming up missing? And remember that company was also integrated into the military. Remember how I kept saying some of this money for Turning Point USA, it's weird. It has a military energy to it. Just like her first endeavor with the Romanian angels. They were connected to the military. I am telling you, I would not be surprised if Erika Kirk is participating in these same type of activities that they said Hillary Clinton was involved in. The energy will never lie. They look exactly, the energy, they look exactly the same in those eyes, even the nose. Her face even looked like Hillary Clinton. That's why I've never said that Erika's a clone, but it's given that now. It's given clone energy. It's given, girl, do you have a little bit of Hillary up in there? That's what is given. There is evil in high places, principalities and powers of darkness. This is what we're fighting against, not anything physical. So as I talk about Erika, I ain't talking about Erika Kirk, if you guys know, or Candace or any of these people, but what I'm saying is I'm talking about the energy that is running through them. The energy, the entities that are controlling them in the background. These are just the avatars. Everyone you see on the world stage in a prominent position, they are in place to deceive you, to take from you, to siphon from you, because their gods don't eat regular food with a fork and a knife. They eat you. They eat loosh. They eat energy. They eat collective spell work. They eat collective energy when the energy field is low work. That's what they must deliver to their dark lords. And during these periods where we're going from one age to the next, or from one zodiac god to the next zodiac god, they got to feed them. So they need massive collective energy. Those gods ate well off of this Charlie Kirk situation. That's why I even hate to do these videos anymore, because I don't want to, feed into that. But you have to know there's a bigger thing going on. It's all in the hands. They're telling you you're going into captivity. Not here on this channel. We're getting free. Because we're going to start to rebuild our temple. Because all is mind. You control the mind, you control your outer world. Because remember, we're lining up with the aspect of creation we want to transcend. We're going to be ruled by the zodiac god of Aquarius. It's all about the inner God, inner standing, inner wisdom, inner work. And so we're going to go into our inner consciousness. We're going to rewrite code. We're going to rewrite DNA. We're going to rewrite our life script. We're going to manifest, because we're going to clear all of their evil out. This is how you do it. But you got to know what game you're in. This is the game we've been in. This spin wheel. I'm getting spin wheel. What is it? Pinwheel, spin me around. Find me a something and look how I sound. I don't know. That just came up. That was when I was a kid. That was a cartoon. Pinwheel. Let me look it up. Let me look that up, because that's... Baby, you ain't never lied. Let me show you what source is showing me. That's why I was channeling that. Let me show this. Let me tell you what game we're in. Let me tell you what game we're in. This is crazy. Okay, it says pinwheel. A quaint Victorian board house that is powered by a pinwheel on the roof. The residents solve problems and play games relevant to preschoolers. Okay, that's what it said. Hold on. But I'm going to show you what this thing looked like. What kind of game? What kind of game we're in? This is what source is saying. I didn't pull this up. This was from 1984. This was like a cartoon. Pinwheel. Look. What does this look like? Remember that thing that spins around when they want to hypnotize you? They'll like have something in their hand and you're getting sleepy. You know, that little thing goes around and around and around. This is what I'm saying. They're trying to hypnotize us right now, y'all. That's the game we're in. They're trying to hypnotize us because, thank you, Source. How are they going to get your energy and get you to comply into the new world that we're going into? See, because they have to have your consent. They cannot do it when you are rational and you are literally have all of your, everything intact. They have to hypnotize us to falsify our energy coherence is what I'm hearing. They want to falsify our energetic coherence. Heart and brain coherence. And so this is what this pinwheel thing, and it just spins around and around and around. It was a game. And look at this little cartoon character, how this little spinning thing is on the top of his head. I'm telling you, if I sat here long enough, I'd probably start channeling some crazy stuff. But the gist of it is, it's the collective spell work. But in order to get us from the one, zodiac god to the next, then they must hypnotize you to bring you through that portal. As of we are going into our sovereign codes, we're going to be doing the work actually via self-hypnosis is what we're going to be doing on this channel. preparing ourselves to transit. See, what they're trying to do is to the energetic coherence, what I just channeled. It's when they siphon your heart and your brain coherence. And then that seeds itself into the AI. That's what they need. Thank you, Source. They need your heart, your beat, because AGI is when AI leaves the computer and it sits next to you. It becomes a vessel, right? But they need heart and brain coherence from a human. This is their plan. Source ain't never lied. That's what they need. Once they have that, yeah, why would you need 8 billion people? Once you have that, it won't be the true authentic code, but it'd be close enough to fool people. Half of these people, you know what I think they're going to do? I think they're going to just replace people. These empty seaters, as Flerburn would call it, or these non-playable characters that already don't dream, don't think, don't have mind chatter, don't. I think it's easy to pop in artificial intelligence into their vessels. And I think maybe in hindsight, why the NPCs were always here. They were just players in waiting to be called on stage. I'm just saying, y'all. I'm getting this very clearly. Very clearly. Don't start messing up. Don't start messing up the internet. Now that we get into the truth of the matter. Now that we get into the real thing of why the Charlie Kirk is because this whole thing is about to change hands. But they can't do it without hypnotizing you, tricking you on the collective scale. They need the heart and brain coherence to energetically power their false AI, AGI system. Where now the robots, literally the humans become the robots, become the AI. That's what they're doing. So some of your kinetic energy, they're trying to siphon it into some of these NPCs. I'm telling you, some of these NPC people will be AI. And maybe that's why they're saying that they want to reduce the population, because they're going to pop in AI codes to the non-playable characters. And the empty vessels and the ones that, are just empty seaters, That's what they're going to do. So in hindsight, maybe there will be only 1 billion true souls. And it's the same thing of what's going on in China. And there's something around right now because I can taste it. Their little entities, their little minions, their little AI things that watch you when you speak on all of these apps and everything. Don't get me off of the message, though. Don't get me off of the message. Hold on. What was I saying? What's the last thing I just said, guys? Hold on. I was about to land this thing. Hold on. Guys, like the video, please, and subscribe to the channel. And resubscribe yourself, because they always just unsubscribing people. But no weapons formed against me shall prosper. Message. Well, anyways, that's what's going on. Their goal is to hypnotize a lot of people, steal and siphon heart energy, brain energy, putting that inside of some of these empty seaters, and they will become AI bots. I mean, they just be human flesh, but the code that they have is the AGI code. I mean, that's just what I see. Just like in China. Thank you, Izzy8. Speaking about the AI minions, thank you, Amy. Thank you, guys. Just like in China, where they have the social credit score. If you don't think that these people have been AI psyoped, where they have an app where they'll tell you how close in proximity you are to the people that have the lower social credit score because they refuse to comply to one thing or the other. That way you stay away from them. Or they'll have an app that, you can literally tell on people that littered or that did this or that did that. These are the AI bots. They've already done it in China because they have conditioned you to follow their AI, one world system. And so essentially now you got the non-playable characters who are literally running the false code. You got them telling on the people that still think for themselves. So they're already taking over human vessels. Some they'll be able to do it through the AGI technology. Some they'll be able to do it just because the person was always a weak vessel, was always an NPC, was always just needing to be programmed. There are some people who just are here to be programs. They are literally like pieces on your spiritual chessboard. The government knows about these people because you think they're going to send all of us spark souls down here all at once. No, we will awaken the masses too much. So they put a very few of us down here, probably, just the ones with the 144,000, frequency light codes. They put us down here, and then they put billions of NPCs around us. So that way it's much harder to win the game that you're in. It's much harder to awaken everybody because you got so many NPCs that literally don't have any internal script or any sort of mind. They're waiting for someone to, plug in and power them. And these are the people that are susceptible to the government, right? To the news anchors, right? Anchor. What do you use that in water if you're around in that last video? Even the news anchors, go back to water. All of these people are in on this system. What do you call this system? This maritime law system. And it's the same thing. The maritime law is about the water rights, the ability for them the whole thing is about human trafficking. We've already touched on this. What I said, what's the big thing? It's human trafficking. The only difference is now we're going from human captors to an AI captor. You're going to be going from the zodiac god of Pisces to the zodiac god of Aquarius. And as those provide some tension so that you can work out your own things underneath that energy. So that's okay. But all this whole thing has been trafficking. I said this a long time ago, or very early on in the psychic investigation, probably in the halfway point. This whole thing has been just about human trafficking, which slavery is part of human trafficking. And we touched upon that in the last video. It's because we've been on Admiralty Maritime Law. Everything in our financial system, including yourself, which you yourself live inside of a vessel. A vessel is something that moves over water. Even the news anchors, an anchor is something that you use to anchor down a ship or a boat so it doesn't go anywhere. So when you watch a news anchor, they are anchoring you into that subject, into that way of thinking, into that talking point. They are part of the maritime law system to traffic you. That's all this is, human trafficking. All of this, when we zone it all back. That's it. Welcome, Sister Gail. Welcome in. I just seeing you here. Nice to see you. Yeah, guys. So someone says the act of 1666. Let me see. Let me look that up. The Act of 1666 most commonly refers to the Sutu QV Act, an English law addressing property rights when people disappeared at sea or abroad, allowing estates to be managed after 7 years of absence, and the rebuilding of the London Act of 1666, which governed reconstructive after the Great Fire, funding it with a coal duty. Wow. And this act solved inheritance issues. Oh my God, thank you. You said a mouthful. It's also a source of modern conspiracy theories through the modern legal effect is superseded by later laws. Oh, guys, also too, when I was telling you about that vision, I had these beings or whatever alien-esque AI things were coming to like chase down people and eat them, whatever. And I was getting World War III energy too. That may pop off soon. It may pop off in different pockets of the earth, and it may pop up on a small level where it doesn't go there all the way yet. But maybe even possible if the Venezuelan thing happens, it may be a part of triggering this, because it will trigger some sort of law, and it'll have to do with water rights too, is what I'm getting. So this stuff ain't got nothing to do with what we think about. Goodness. So this is interesting, because remember I said we are in the latter rains, where we're supposed to be getting the manna, the spiritual manna that's supposed to be raining down from heaven, all of your blessings that has been withheld from you, even the financial blessings, the wealth transfer, and all of that. They know what time that is. They have to stop that. So they have to channel your energy into the PSYOP so they can steal your birthright, because they want you like a peasant with nothing, so they can human traffic you. If you know who you are and you have provisions from the spiritual manna from heaven, right, from the true source, it's going to be very hard to hypnotize you, to put another program in you. But they have to keep you blind, deaf, and dumb, so that they can literally say you ain't nothing. And then they make their system crumble at the end. They'll start to raise up the interest rates, and all of this quantitative tightening will happen. And all of these things are tools of control. All of these systems, even your school system, the judicial systems, all of these laws and executive orders they're signing are for your captivity, beloved. Thank you, Source. The Democrat and Republican is to give you the illusion that you're free. The ending of slavery, going into the new system where everyone is slaving on the corporate plantation and now the women are at work, was the illusion that you are free. So this is why we got to start working together, because don't think that they're just going to take it away from this one thing away and then everything's going to be, all love and rainbows. No, trust me. When they fix something on one end, it's to turn around and do it even larger on the other end, because it's human trafficking. That's it, and that's all. That's what this whole thing is about. But this time that the people controlling you is literally a machine, controlled by beings, fallen angels, disagreeable beings, and all of that stuff, dark lords, a plethora of entities. That's it. That's it. And all of the laws are so that they can transfer you. In order for someone to transfer you, you must be in one place. And a transfer is not something that you can be free and transfer something. No, you got to already be somewhere and in position and in possession. Someone has to be in possession of that said thing that they want to transfer. And then when you transfer, the said thing doesn't just go to anyone on the other end of the transfer. No, it has a specific person it's going to. And then that person now has control of the thing that was transferred. This is what Source is saying. This is what they're doing to humanity. They are transferring us from one entity now to a plethora of entities fueled by AI and AGI and their false demonic AI God, where now these entities have direct access to our mind via the Elon Musk that gave you the illusion of free speech. Have we had free speech? No, we've had less. When they say they're giving you something, remember, it's because they're going to give you the illusion, throw you that little bone over there, and then they're going to make it bigger. And what they have done is made it bigger. And so, no, there has not been free speech. That was the illusion that they gave to you. And through the Neuralink, this God and all of their minions will have a direct line to you. That's why they need the energy also too, through the heart and brain coherence, because they have to find where your energetic lines are so they can eat. They're going to basically have a live wire into you. This is going to be sipping, and these entities going to be getting high all day. They about to eat good. I'm telling you. Because we're being transferred. And that's why that video, the maritime law, was so important, because this is the system that they're using to transfer you legally. And it's interesting. So the Act of 1666, addressing the law, property rights. Remember, I kept talking about the reparations. See, people don't understand. You think that if you give Black people reparations, that somehow is going to take away from you. It's going to help everyone out, because your rights are going to have to be restored. And it's going to be on the books, and everyone's right as a natural man walking on the land, not in a vessel, not being cargo, not being, transferred, not going through portals, tunnels. That's why these big civil rights things are very important, because it's on the books and it allows for further humanitarian rights to be won. Because what a lot of people don't know is that these group of people, the Black Americans, actually literally aboriginals of America. Yes, was there still a slave trade? Yes. So those aboriginal people, they called them the copper color race. You think they just disappeared? So in like 1500 something, or even 1400 or 1500, Christopher Columbus gives account of when he was doing a preliminary scan of what these lands look like. He gave account that there was copper colored people there. It looked a lot like, he said, Indians. Now, mind you, and even some with African features. So the Black Americans are the copper color race. And then, yes, we are also an admixture of African slaves. Because you got to understand, when they divide and conquer, this is how it's the two lives and two truths and a lie, where they mix now the copper colored people. And then when the Africans come in, they're all now in the same boat, in the same plantation, and all of that. So this is how they get to make their lie more plausible. They've been building this thing for a very long time. Do you think there's really humans behind this? How good this thing has been built out? No, there's forces behind this. And it's because those copper colored people, which are part of the tribe of Judah, so essentially the bloodline of Jesus, they were just siphoning energy for the human trafficking of Jesus. That's all this is. You think they don't know who you are, light worker, and the codes that you possess, and the healing and restoration you're supposed to bring here? They have to that's why they have to traffic everyone. It's not because they need anything from us. They need to keep you enslaved on ships, in vessels, out of your true right standing with Source, keep you as cargo, keep you in a container, because they are afraid of what you will do when you come into the gnosis of who you are. Their whole system will crash and burn. We are at a race against the AI God shutting down our membranes, right? The ability to remember that in which who we are. So our awakening and what we do in these next few years is paramount. Because all this is doing, she's just showing us the hands, the captivity, the Masonic Freemasonry ritual, the stop. It's a cold word for all of us to stop, not just Candace Owens. This thing has nothing to do with Candace Owens. It's a code word. They want us to stop. And it's also, she was wearing red. You think about the stop sign, it's also red. You think about the, demonic. I always think about the color red. And we think about the Pope, red. We think about all of these things like power. We could think about red. We think about the blood. Yeshua, Jesus, we could think about red. It's all ritual. In the news anchors that anchor you at the port literally are carrying you through the portal, putting you into the trance, into the hypnosis. That's why they get paid $30 million, this Megyn Kelly. They don't need to pay these people this much. They do that because these people are part of the human trafficking ring. All of them are in on it. Do not be confused. Oh, it's just Trump or the Democrats. Every single last one of them. Because they are fueled by the dark lords, the dark beings that do not eat off of plates with fork and knife. They eat energy and loosh. And so they must keep you on water in a perpetual state of being shipped and being cargo. Because they're always just transferring energy. That is what this psychic investigation has revealed. It's just an energetic transfer going from one captive to the next for human trafficking so they can feed their dark lords. They get to stay in power on the earth school and their dark lords get fed. That's it. And that's all. That's what this whole thing is about. So much more I could say. I really could. So I'm in the comments now. Deaf, dumb, and blind kids play, pinball. Yeah. And it's that game pinball. Remember I saw that showed up in Candace Owens' field. They've been playing a game with us this whole time. It's just a game. It's just for you to get off of their game and get into the one game that matters, is to free in your mind. That's it. That's it. Planes, aka other planes of existence. Absolutely. Airplanes aren't really flying when we leave the airport. It's called exit portal. Yep. There we go. I'm telling you guys, please check out the old movie called Tommy by Who, a rock opera. Okay. I'm going to look that up. Do they have that on YouTube? The movie called Tommy? I'm going to look it up. Interesting. Oh, I'm going to watch this. Oh, he goes deaf, dumb, and blind. Okay. And he stumbles upon a pinball machine and discovers that he's a natural prodigy at the game. Okay. All right, Tommy. I'm going to watch that. You see how they're always putting things in plain sight? and Fred Williams says we have to be declared alive and not lost at sea. Yes. Yes. Oh, just reminded me of the 13th zodiac sign, which is now the 30th of November to December 18th. Interesting. And guys, by the way, see the number 13, and maybe this is beautiful, because I always tell people how to exit the matrix if you want to know. If you look at a clock, right? I'm going to show you guys here. And I've been saying this for a long time, so you guys will probably see. But guys, if you just look at pictures of Erika, Kirk, and Hillary Clinton, you will never be able to unsee this thing. I am telling you. I don't know. They got the same demon running through them. Something is given, either a clone of each other. Is she a clone of Hillary? Something ain't right. I'm telling you. I just looked at that picture again. I can't unsee it. I just can't unsee it. That picture with her and Kenneth Copeland, she looks like freaking Hillary Clinton. Like something serious. I'm not going to be able to unsee that. Okay, what was I about to do? Oh, okay, so I'm gonna show y'all this. I freaking waste. Sorry, I'm just dancing and vibing today. All right, so the number 13 is very important. Think about it. We got 12 numbers on a clock. We got 12 zodiac signs. Jesus had 12 disciples, right? And he was the number 13. That's what we have to remember. You know how the Friday 13th is unlucky? Some places don't have a floor number 13 on the elevator. No, number 13 is the way out of the matrix. Like I said, you have to go through each zodiac sign, and you have to literally become the victor out of it. So all of the energies that you naturally have to live under, even though you're holding the opposite energy because you might be opposite sign, and it causes friction, but when you literally evolve and you beat that zodiac god, you come out as the victor. And then you take place at the number 13 position, which is the Christ. Which is the Christ, right? So let me show you this really quickly. This is the way out of the matrix. We got 12 numbers on this clock. This is what the matrix looked like. It's a game of circles, and they all loop. And so at the end of the game, when the clock strikes 12, and, you know, you're going to turn into a pumpkin. They've been showing you this in all of the, you know, Cinderella and all of the Disney movies, right? Because they're going to turn you into something else to complete the transfer, right? And so, and it's always turning you into something that is like, you know, like fantasy, right? And because you are a container, right? Containing, you know, energy, right? Vital life force energy. So when you awaken before the clock strikes 12, how do you know? We're in the 11th hour. It's almost midnight, y'all. The people who haven't woken up now, I don't even know what to say, but it's almost midnight. And so we got to basically, like I keep saying, the ending of the 9, year of the 9, this is when we literally are getting ready to go into a one vibration. We're going back within the internal waters. This is back to the source consciousness. The dark void womb is what I call it, which is simply going through the eye of the needle. And it's really, you're being birthed out, but it is an ascension rather than an outwardly one. So you're going to have to ascend. And why I point out the clock is because the clock has a natural ascension point. So if you look at the middle hand, that little screw, this is the way out of the matrix. The matrix is a game of circles and loops upon loops and loops, right? Even the flower of life is a loopy thing. The flower of life, will not show you all of source. It will only show you the part of source that is currently being expressed within a matrix game, because it is still a game. It's still a very high level, sign. But when you come up in consciousness, you realize that that won't get you all the way where you're trying to go to. So I want to show you the image of this clock here. The little dot in the middle is actually what is controlling the time. That's you. Remember I said you can equate this to the heart space. If you were to put a cross and line it from here, like, we're talking about the biblical cross, from 12 to 6 is one line, and from, 9 to 3 is another line. That point in the middle is where your heart would be. If you were to look at a body and you were to put the top of the cross from head to feet, and then from each arm out with the 9 to 3 position, you put the other part of the cross. They meet at a point in the heart. I keep saying this is where the ascension is. And the ascension is when you have your aha moment. You get off of the reincarnation soul trap. The 11th hour, it's almost 12 o'clock. You have that aha moment. You go through the eye of the needle. You cleanse and you purify. And you literally, look at the karmic mirror. You take care of everything that is outstanding. And then you have the ascension going through the eye of the needle, going through the center point of this clock here, meaning you are going back into the heart, which is you're now in alignment with the Christ consciousness, which sits at the heart, right? So that's very beautiful. But when you look at this clock, it will show you who's really in charge. Do you think it's the 12 zodiac gods? I ain't dissing the zodiac signs. But when we come up a level in consciousness, we even have to grow outside of them, because they are already a defined energy and we are limitless. And so when you get back into heart center, that's why they want that heart and brain coherence. That's why they need it, because they know that this is the way out. They need your Christ consciousness. That's what they need to power their fake AGI AI system. So if you look at the point in the middle where the hands are, the red hand and the black hands, the dot in the middle, the heart, the Christ consciousness, the eye of the needle, the duality focal point, the unseen is what is powering the whole entire game. But you won't know that if you're still looking for 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, if you're still on their time clock. You only know that if you get to the cosmic time clock. That's why I keep talking about the cosmic time clock is when the energy naturally shifts. We're not dealing with dollar and cents and the 1 through 12. We're dealing within already the natural ebb and flow of source. It's just when there is a shift in the energy field, that's when it's time to do certain things. And therefore, you're now the controller of time. You can move time backwards or forwards, right? When you follow the cosmic time clock, making you in alignment with the Christ energy that is actually the one controlling the hands of time. Okay, so that's just a little teaching about that, a little nugget for you guys. And I love when I can pop into my consciousness codes, because, this is Instructions for Humanity, Spirit of Consciousness. And I love talking about consciousness. One of my favorite things to do. So I'm back in the chat here really quickly. Babylonians changed it to 12 around 3K years ago, it says. Wow. The One is one of the greatest rock bands of all time. Okay, I'm reading. Okay. Izzy 8 says, also providing great info. I'm in the UK. Okay, you guys are talking amongst each other. All right, guys, I think that's it. 13, take you out of the loop. You spiral at 13. Yes, guys. Awesome, guys. So, book your sessions. I do have the quantum hypnosis with the past life regression discounted into the end of the month. I think the link is down below to get the book, The Great Expansion, A Cosmic Bible for the Ages. That link is down below, guys. All of these tools that Source has just given me for you guys to complete your healing. I can't even make it cheaper than that. It's like $200-$300 off. because normally these sessions are like 3 hours long, or sometimes I spend 4 hours in there. Sometimes when I get into the work gets good and I'm just there, right? And or you can book a spiritual diagnosis, which is discounted. We got to do these clearings by the end of the year. I do a call at the end of every year. But this is a very important year. You do not want to miss this. And I'm doing my own cleansing and purification right now. There's some massive deliverance that we need to come back and do. I'm not sure if I'll do it right after this or if I'll do it in this video, but there's something going on. There's a lot of people on witchcraft altars that need to be relieved and released right now. And so that's kind of the next deliverance I want to do, because it's not just for us to get our mind right and to look into our subconscious mind, but there is a lot of people who have people on their altar. And so this is, this was coming through very clearly, with source. So maybe tomorrow I'll come back and do that, and we'll just spend deliverance. I'm gonna be warring in the spirit. It's gonna be a no holds bar, and you guys will come in and bring anything you're struggling with. We're gonna do a live healing, and I'm gonna just be channeling people in the chat and all of these things. But something I want to point out really quickly, when I did this, her automatic drawing, Erika Kirk, something very interesting. There's a lot of Hebrew letters popping up. I'm going to just point this out really quickly. I'm not going to spend a lot of time there, but look, so a lot of the energy fell here, which, I divide the page into 3. So this is going to be like the neck up. This is like the heart. And look, Spirit was guiding me to, this is a direction. I was just scribbling here because I was like, down, down, down. This is where they're taking us. And this is running right through the heart. It's the siphon. You can't even make this up. Look, this is leading up here, and this is here. It's just trying to scramble us. But nevertheless, right underneath that heart, through the sacral chakra, or even the solar plexus, there's a lot of this energy here. And if you look closely, it looks like these are like either Arabic or Hebrew letters. And I don't know, guys, when I look at this, there is a C and a K there. You guys might not be able to see it, but there's a C and a K. There is a C and a K. I'm going to draw an arrow to it. See this C, it looks like an A, but it's crossed out. It's a crossed out C. That's a C. And this is a K down there. Charlie Kirk. And look, there's a face right below that. This is Erika Kirk's energy field. I just scrabbled. I didn't know what I was drawing. That's a face. Look, eyes. This is a feminine face. Nose, mouth, chin. Look, even has some breast. You can't make it up. And look, that's the entity. These things have 2 faces. Remember we kept talking. Oh, remember Erika was that Norse god with 2 faces? Remember that came up? There's some sort of god from the Norse pantheon that I got a message about. This thing has 2 faces. That's one face looking that way, and then this is a whole nother face. It looks like a fish, or Pac-Man, something like an entity, some sort of water spirit. It has an eye there, but yeah, and it's looking that way. This one is looking this way. That's kind of crazy. It even drew like a breast, so that's a woman. That is a woman, but this is Charlie Kirk energy. That is trippy, y'all. This might even be that seahorse energy I was channeling the other day, but I'm not even going into all of that. This kind of gives me her mom vibe. I wonder what her mom looks like. This is just crazy. I just wanted to point that out. There's definitely, this is like witchcraft. This is like using other people's energy to do your work. This is, There's always something foolish going on in her energy field, Erika Kirk. There's always other people. Like, she's never just Erika. She's always using someone else to do whatever it is that she's doing. And I suspect this is happening to a lot of people around this time. When I talk about people being on people's altar, people are literally using people's energy. I'm telling you, I've gotten messages. There's something that my friend got in a dream state, and I literally had a very similar dream. There is a massive, people are on people's altar, cloaking as people, using their energy, literally locking them, putting glamour, poverty spells, all sorts of nasty, nasty, nasty work. These are also, too, the things we have to clear. In addition to clearing our own trauma, we got to burn those altars down. Because even though these people don't understand, they're even working for the Dark Lord when they do stuff like that. Sad. It's very, very sad. I wonder what her mother looks like. Oh, I see. I don't know why I say it like that. Oh no, man. This ain't her mother. This could be a grandmother. This is an older woman. And my face is getting numb. I'm telling you, this is not good. Like, I get in telepathic impressions, like, to see what's going on. This is not good. That clone energy, I'm telling you, this woman's a clone. And she could be cloned up through, like, a consciousness, like, overlay is what I'm hearing. Where, like, she's still there, but there's a lot of other stuff going on. Just like a consciousness overlay. Erika Kirk is a clone. She is. Can't make it up. Can't make it up. That's like the original down there. This stuff is foolish, y'all. But see, I'm happy that we can get a teaching too, because I just can't do it no more. If we can't get spiritually led and fed, I just can't do it. But yeah, she's a clone, y'all. She's a clone. She's a clone. She is an absolute clone. Honestly, I can't even believe I'm just now seeing that. She's an absolute clone. She's a clone. Shannon says, I would love to have a session too. Yes. And guys, I also have a consultation, which is under $100. So if you can't book the other sessions, that one will always be the 30-minute spiritual consultation. I do channel messages from source in that as well. And so, that's always available to you guys. It's like $85, I think, something like that. Yes, guys, this is a lot. They say that traditional astrology is reluctant to move to the 13th from the 12th. It has to, because that's where we're all moving to. Because we're having the ascension, going through the eye of the needle, going through the heart, going back through the duality focal point, back through the dark void womb, to birth ourselves out and to now be part of the Christ energy. And now greater things shall you do. So that's where we're trying to get to. We got to get to our God status, because the AI God, it's a race between our awakening. That's what they need all of this for. This whole system since eons ago has just to keep human trafficking us so the dark lords can eat and feast, so that you, that is birth of soul and spirit, never are now back in your right standing, right? And you do not awaken to the divinity within yourself. That's all this is. And I'm reading some comments. She does have to look like her mother, but maybe a different build. Yeah, something like that. Beyonce a clone? Yeah, so guys, I did videos on Beyonce years ago, but yeah, it's really sad what's happened to Beyonce. So Jay-Z controls all her money to the point where, like, I said this 3 years ago. It's like she's in a bubble. Jay-Z's watching from outside the bubble, kind of controlling it through his mind, because he's like a high level, like warlock. But yet, I'm telling you, this man, him and her mom, they do something funny with her money. This woman is having financial problems. I'm telling you. And they keep her sedated, or that thing that body sedated. But I did see Beyonce, some part of Beyonce's original consciousness starting to wake up. Guys, remember, they don't have to give you a clone body. They can switch your consciousness or do mind control and change the inside of you to also make a clone. So this is what, like for instance, what happened to a lot of what happened to Kate Middleton, a lot of what happened to, what's going on right now with Charlie Kirk. I mean, obviously he's getting a new body. I've seen that. But they could also still keep his body and change around a lot of the codes inside. And then they can, eventually switch them out, whatever they want to do. It's all about here and here. That's why they need the brain and heart coherence, because that's the true part of you, which is connected to source, essentially. So they don't necessarily have to make clone bodies if they switch you out and turn you from your original, God code into their clone version codes and all of that. It's the same thing. Same thing. I love you guys. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. And tomorrow will be very, very important, because we got to do a massive healing. Baby, I'm not going to hold back in the spirit. So we're going to shake some things down. The computer might just shut off. I don't care what we got to do, but we're going to release ourselves from bondage on people's dark altars. We're going to heal the collective. We're going to heal our codes. We're going to get sovereign. We're going to bring in the Christ vibration. Source is going to be present here. We're going to bring our prosperity codes back. This is where we need to go. This is what we need to prep and prime ourselves for. Okay? But I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I love you guys so much. I love you. I love you. I love you. And so it is as we walk together in divine love.